What if the biggest crime boss in your city wasn't a hardened adult, but a teenager sneaking back home before curfew? This isn't just fiction. It's the untold story of juvenile masterminds who orchestrate sophisticated criminal enterprises, pulling off daring schemes and living double lives. They are young, brilliant, and fearless, exploiting their innocence as a shield against the law. This is the story of kids who didn't just commit crimes, they built empires. Picture a 16-year-old with a backpack, not stuffed with books, but filled with cryptocurrency wallets, burner phones, and cash. To his teachers, he's just a quiet student. To the police, he's a ghost. But on the streets, he's known as Fox, the head of a network that launders drug money through online gaming platforms. Fox started small, reselling stolen goods on forums. But as he realized how law enforcement treated minors with leniency, he went bigger. Recruiting other kids from his school, Fox built a micro-empire of hackers, couriers, and dealers. His crew wasn't just a bunch of delinquent kids. They were organized, disciplined, and tech-savvy, using the dark web to buy identities and encrypted apps to evade detection. Here's the crazy part. Fox wasn't an anomaly. Around the world, police have cracked cases involving teenagers trafficking drugs through Snapchat, running online credit card scams, and even organizing gang hits through gaming chats. Why do these kids get away with it? One word: loopholes. In most countries, the legal system treats minors lightly, assuming they don't have the mental capacity to understand the severity of their actions. The juvenile masterminds know this. They plan their operations around it. They keep their dealings just below the radar, so that, at worst, they only get a slap on the wrist or a short stay in juvenile detention. This isn't just a wild theory. There are real cases. In Japan, a group of teens known as the Clickers ran an extortion ring using phishing attacks. Once caught, the police could do little more than send them to reform school, since most of them were under 18. Meanwhile, in Chicago, a 14-year-old named Dante took over a local street gang after his older brother was imprisoned. Dante ran the show for a year, knowing the authorities wouldn't suspect someone his age to organize gun shipments. Their innocence isn't a liability, it's a weapon. What makes these juvenile masterminds so dangerous isn't just their age, it's their psychology. These kids are ambitious and strategic, without the fear that holds adults back. They understand how authority figures think and play on it. A police officer might assume a group of 15-year-olds hanging out at the mall are just being kids, not arranging a deal for counterfeit electronics. But these kids study police tactics. Some even read books about interrogation techniques, so they know how to answer questions without incriminating themselves. Think of it as a game of chess, where adults play defensively. But the kids, they play recklessly and with nothing to lose. That unpredictability makes them dangerous and nearly impossible to catch. Modern technology has given kids more tools than ever to run sophisticated operations. With a VPN, a burner phone, and some basic coding knowledge, a 15-year-old can orchestrate international wire fraud. Many of these juvenile crime rings operate like startups, using social media to recruit members, encrypted messaging apps for planning, and online marketplaces to fence stolen goods. One such example is the Plug Walk Collective, a group of teenage hackers who pulled off one of the biggest cryptocurrency scams in history, hijacking celebrity Twitter accounts and scamming people out of millions. Some members were arrested, but others, they vanished into the digital ether. Even in small towns, kids use platforms like Telegram or Discord to buy and sell illegal substances, managing their clients with the efficiency of an e-commerce business. These platforms are hard to track, giving the masterminds another layer of protection. These juvenile masterminds are not just about profits, They thrive on power and the thrill of the game. Many of them don't come from poverty or troubled homes. Instead, they enjoy the challenge of outsmarting adults and manipulating the system. For them, crime is a puzzle to solve, an intellectual game that tests their skills. In interviews, some young offenders described how they loved the rush of running illegal operations without getting caught. "It's like playing Grand Theft Auto," one said, "except the stakes are real." Others wear their innocence like armor. They act polite and well-mannered in public, earning the trust of teachers and parents. To outsiders, they seem like kids with bright futures. But behind closed doors, they're organizing heists, coordinating shipments, and manipulating rival gangs. Not every juvenile mastermind makes it out unscathed. Some get caught in their own web of deception, betrayed by a careless friend or tripped up by a tiny mistake. But even when these kids get caught, their punishments are often light. After all, how do you imprison someone whose brain is still developing? Many reform schools report that their juvenile offenders leave more skilled and connected than when they arrived. In some cases, detention becomes an opportunity to network with other young criminals and plan their next move. Take the case of Leon, a 17-year-old arrested for hacking into a government database. After serving just 12 months in juvenile detention, he was released, only to found a cybersecurity company using the same skills he learned during his criminal career. He now advises corporations on security for a hefty fee. Here's the scariest part. These stories are just the beginning. As technology evolves, so will the methods of these juvenile masterminds. What happens when they start using AI to automate their scams? Or virtual reality to plan heists in simulated environments? The kids who ran empires today could very well be the kingpins of tomorrow. It's not just about catching these kids, it's about understanding them. What drives them to lead lives of crime? Is it boredom, ambition, or a desire to outsmart the system? And most importantly, how can society stop these young masterminds before it's too late? And here's the twist you didn't see coming. For every juvenile mastermind who gets caught, two more rise to take their place. They are watching, learning, and planning their next move, right under everyone's noses. The question isn't if the next mastermind is out there, it's how close they are to you.